Right, well here we are with another review. This is a model which, well, I didn't know Lima did one of these, but, well, they did. This is a Lima Class 20. This is another visitor, belongs to another friend. It comes in the same type of Lima box as my Lima 40 does. But yeah, well, this must have been the, well, Lima's, well, last, well, more newer box. This again when I got my 40 back in early 2004. But yeah, of course she came in this box. This was before what they merged with Hornby or something like that. I'm not quite sure. Sorry, just trying not to block the light too much. It's cloudy but bright enough out there. So here we are. This Lima Class 20 20064, and a name as well with a sheaf. I imagine that. Got a couple of my 40 came with these. Like parts to go on the front. We fit the white circles onto my 40, but I don't think we fitted the yellow ones. Just put those over there. I'm not quite sure how old this model is. Well, it's obviously a fair few years old. But it is overall in fairly good condition. Again, I'm sure, I think this is the first ever Lima Class 20 I've ever seen. Just try and get a close-up of the name there. Yep, River Sheaf. I say the more light, the more the camera focuses better. With the grey roof, it's a nice. It's in a nice BR green livery with the logo there. And let's say the wheels look. The wheels look fairly clean. I mean, it says there Lima made in Italy, just like on my Class 40. Gonna see how she runs. I'm sure these four wheels. I'm sure each wheel has a traction tyre on. I'm sorry, I was just double checking there. It's definitely traction tyres and not dirt. Because these wheels which don't have traction tyres on them, they're not dirty. I mean, we'll see how she runs, and because again, you know what Lima motors can be like. They can be quite temperamental. Well, I'd say the Class 40 has run pretty well over the past fair few years now. I mean, of course, Lima motors can, as I was saying, they can be quite temperamental and quite buzzy and noisy, and can get a bit unhappy sometimes. There's like a little logo there. See if is it going to focus? Yeah, just a little tiny little logo there. And something else I've just spotted. If you have a look at the windows, these side windows, basically, I've just noticed that one as well. That window there, front one, is just sort of partially open. Just wait for it to focus there. Oh yeah, you just see there, partially open, and the rear one, well, that one there is just partially open as well. That's quite clever. Nice little bit of detail. So again, we'll see how she runs. If she's a bit reluctant, I might give her a quick service, sort of like clean her wheels with Track Magic, or a bit of lubrication. Well, my friend said it does run, but again, if he has had a bit of issues with her, like she's not been the most reliable. Again, Lima motors aren't always the most they're not always the most reliable. Again, they can get a bit unhappy, a bit temperamental sometimes. But I'd say my Class 40 has always run much better with the HM2000. Again, a fair few of my locos, including my 40, were starting to take a dislike to the old standard controllers I used to use years ago now. And just thought I'd do a bit of comparing here. If you remember, yes, I own this BR. Well, actually, did I buy it off a friend? I think I did. Who used to own it? Yes, I own this blue Hornby Class 20. Of course, this is it's a slightly older model. Of course, Bachmann do the proper super detail 20s. I mean, as you can see, basically, I was going to compare them because whilst there are differences, there are some very close similarities really. Well, this one's got like full open windows there and on both sides. So if they were in, because of course they're both in different liveries. If they were both in exactly the same livery, it would basically be a game of spot the difference, wouldn't it? But again, detail-wise, I mean, this Hornby one, I'm not sure quite how old this model is, but it's over 10 years old now. What it must be. Yes, of course, because it comes in the old polystyrene boxes now. I mean, do Hornby still do their 20s, or have they discontinued them? But of course, if you want a brand new super detailed 20, you need to go for Bachmann. So if we just compare them both, just getting them in a good position. But mainly when it comes to detail here, of course, first thing you probably notice that the Hornby one has NEM couplings, and those way all obviously even older. Well, I'm not sure how much older, but the Lima one has the big full-size couplings. They've got different size buffers as well. Again, neither have sprung, of course. Well, I don't think this one has sprung. No, it doesn't. But yeah, the green one, well, the Lima one has much bigger buffers, and of course the handrails are a separate fitting on the Hornby one. Well, on the oh no, they're all molded. Sorry, I was just checking there. On the Lima one, these ones look like they're separate at first, but they're not. They are actually molded on. But of course, it's what to be expected for an older Lima model. The handrails there, it's all molded on across there, and the silver ones there. But they are still nicely painted. I mean, if you look at them from the back, they are quite similar in terms of detail. They are similar. Well, the roofs especially. And the cab ends. I mean, it would be nice to actually run them both together on the same track, like nose to nose, like they do. But again, as I said before, I still haven't got that far to. I still have not got as far as DCC chipping. I might be able to do it one day, but again, just with a temp, it's just not the most. It's not the easiest with just a temporary layout like this. Maybe one day, again, as I said, as we go on, see what the future brings. But one thing I will do, I'll show you now, before we get the green one running, is basically, just have them both coupled together, nose to nose, just like they do in real life, just on a piece of track, so we can have a look at them like this. Once again, they're detailed, particularly again along the roofs and along the side bits there. Well, of course, minus the handrails. Well, I mean, if you don't include the handrails, but the side bits there, like the vents, like those side engine doors, pretty much identical to each other. Same with the bogies as well. I mean, I don't know if I was reading online, someone said, well, they just sometimes run two headers, or they've run two headers before, without the DCC chipping. However it works, again, again, as I said, it's not a zone. I haven't got into that zone yet. Not quite fully sure how it works, but I'm sure I read that someone just did two headers. Did a two-header with just like normal DC and said it didn't seem to have any issues. But my dad did tell me that it's not really a good idea because, well, obviously, they're sharing the same power. Well, you'd get like I don't know, reduced power with both of them because, well, obviously using the same, sharing it on the same track. And I think over time it can start to kill them a bit, or drain the motors, drain the power from them. Yeah, and I don't really want to risk that. Well, again, especially as this, this model isn't mine. Well, I know some of you might think, well, it won't hurt just to give it a try. But again, we're not sure how this run won't. I'm not sure how this one will run yet. We'll try in a second. But again, it's not mine, this one, and it is an older model. It's an older model with an older motor, which you kind of need to be more careful with. Again, even though I'm sure that person said they didn't seem to have any power draining or motor draining issues when running two headers just on normal DC etc. or whatever it was. I don't really want to risk it. But at least we can see them both coupled together nose to nose like this. Okay, here she is on the track. Let's Let's see how 20.064 Rubber Sheaf runs. Again, I'm not sure here, but we'll see. Oh, slight little splutter there, but ooh, not a brilliant start. Just a slight little bit of life, but then just goes. And now I'm just getting no response from her at all. Just yeah, you might have heard that then just took just like that. Nothing at all. I mean, look, the power's getting through, the light's on. Look, some of the trap looks clean enough. Well, I cleaned it recently. Nothing. She's practically completely dead. Just a tiny little stutter like every couple of seconds or so. She won't budge at all. I mean, her wheels look fairly clean. I don't know, again, well, there's traction tyres on all 4 of these wheels, so well, I think because of that, they obviously don't really pick up any power. I mean, I can't see, unlike with those wheels there, which I might just see there. Yeah, I mean, sorry, just try and get it to focus. Oh yeah, you might just be able to pick out like pickups in there. You know, usually wheels with traction tyres don't pick up any power, do they? I'll give her a service, and I'll still put some track magic on these wheels, a bit of lubrication, and if that doesn't work, it's obviously a more internal problem, and I don't really want to be stripping her down right now. I mean, you know, because it's she doesn't belong to me, so you know I'm still not that familiar with like deep internal fixes, especially on like older models where it's more. Sorry, my knee was coming into shot there. Well, like more older motors, which you need to be careful with. I just don't really want to make her any worse. Well, I suppose it couldn't be any worse because she won't move. But let's give these wheels a clean and a little bit of lubrication and just see what happens. I mean, there's no instructions in the box or anything. I mean, I'm not sure. Well, some of you might know, but I'm not really sure how you get the bodies off these 20s. I can't find any screws anywhere. I mean, does it like just pull or like just private apart from? Sorry, just bring it to the light there. Just private apart from the sides. Like you sort of do, sort of like you do with the Hornby Class 50. There's no screws to remove the chassis. Well, to separate the chassis from the body, you just sort of pull it apart. I mean, I've done it with my current 50 when I was trying to get the fan working. You just sort of pull it, and once it comes off, it comes off quite easily. But this one feels quite stiff. I mean, again, I don't know if that's even the way you do it. I don't want to risk causing any damage, so I'll clean these wheels. Bit of lubrication, and if that doesn't work, I'll just have to let my friend know, and then we might get it running at some point. But oh well. I mean, I don't think it's a more internal like motor issue because there was definitely a tiny bit of power getting to her. Again, I'm not sure if the camera picked it up, but I just heard like a little bzz, noise like that, just like a noise like that. So, well, obviously a tiny bit of power got in, but obviously not enough to move, and surely if there was like a loose wire or something, wouldn't have heard anything. But it was definitely a few or several just tiny little splutters. Right, after that service, let's see what we get now. Here goes nothing, I guess. Well, that I didn't expect. With the magic of track magic and lubrication, speaking about I'm running a little bit low, I could do with some more of that soon. And obviously those wheels, well, it must be something to do with the wheels being way more dirtier than they actually looked, because again, at first glance they did not look, well, they looked by no means filthy. Again, maybe a few tiny patches of dirt, but not really enough to cause as much issues as there was. Not enough to, pretty much prevent the power from getting through completely, but look at her now. What a transformation. It's hard to believe it's the same loco. She's running really well. Again, over the point's fine. And obviously, well, of course, we used this from like the older motor, well, like older Hornby, well, and particularly Lima motors. Again, just like the Hornby Pacer, the smoother they get, the faster you run. Well, the faster you run them, the smoother they get. Because she was quite rough at first, well, especially at slower speeds or speeds any slower than this. But not too noisy. Again, a little buzzy, but not too bad. She should get better the more we run her. Again, especially the quicker we run her. Not as rough or as spluttery at higher speeds. And again, of course, we're all used to that from the older ones. The power seems to be going through quite well. Well, there's basically no flickering going on with the green light. Again, usually when that happens, then that means there's a slight power hesitation. Oh, well, if the train's running all right, but it's a tiny bit of hesitation through the green light there, it's not usually too bad. Again, they can look like they're flickering on the camera, but again, that's just the camera. Again, from my point of view, both lights are fine. And she's definitely smoothened up and got better over the last, like, I don't know, like 15-20 minutes or so of running. But look at that for low speed running. Again, I don't think this model's that old. Well, obviously not quite as old as my dad's Lima ones, but I promise this is the same loco. I haven't got two. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was going to say not too slow in case she does cut out, but I promise you this is the same one. I haven't got two, one which doesn't run and one which does run. But again, what a change just a bit of light servicing can do. Massive change there. Of course, I'm not going to run too slow for too long. Because again, of course, she's still not the biggest fan of it, and she did just very briefly cut out on this bend. But again, that is still very, very good and very impressive. Let's see how she does in the other direction now. She might not like changing direction at first, but oh, look at that. No issues at all. I know it sounded like I was speaking a bit too soon there, but she's not cutting out at all. Still just as smooth in this direction. I don't know if she's a slight little bit noisier going this direction, or if that's just me, but still she's still running really well again, just as well. It's great that we've got her running, especially back running this well. Again, low speed running this way as well. Again, not too slow, because again she can still cut out. Well, if too slow again, particularly on bends. But that was the review of Class 20064 River Sheaf. Again, I like that name. Again, I'm sure. Well, either I never knew or I just completely forgot that Bachmann did do. I'm sorry, not Bachmann. Lima, because again I'm thinking of the Bachmann ones, that Lima do models of Class 20s. Well, they did. And once again, I'm really glad that we got her running. It would have been quite a big disappointment if we hadn't. But again, just a light service like that can make a lot of change. I hope you've enjoyed the review. I mean, I still would have uploaded the review even if we hadn't got her running. I just would have said we'll just have to see what we can do to get her running at some point, hopefully in the near future. But again, that's not the case, because she is running. Oh, and just very quickly, sorry, I'm just using my phone torch because it's a little bit later on now. It's again, the days are starting to get quite noticeably shorter now, aren't they? As well as cleaning her wheels with the Trap Magic, I also cleaned her contacts. Again, she's only got contacts on this set of wheels here. Of course, none on here, because all those wheels have traction tyres on. So again, they don't pick up any power. But well, they didn't really look dirty, but I still gave them a clean over with the Trap Magic anyway. Both her wheels and contacts. Again, it's made one heck of a fantastic difference.